Hey, welcome back to Two Super Guys Trade Stocks. I'm Dylan.
And I'm Vinny.
And we just did a video like 2 weeks ago on how Google is the best buy right now. It has the best value. It's a no-brainer. And then some kind of monumental news drops and Google loses $250 billion in market cap. And at first I'm thinking, all right, this seems like maybe a better buy, even better than it was. This could be bad. This could be a problem. I'm not gonna lie to you guys. So we're gonna take a look at it.
Yeah.
This is the video we did. I bought more that day. Did you?
Yeah. I mean,
Granted, I've been buying like a little bit every time, so it's not like because of the video, but it's. I mean, yeah, I think it's as of that video, the best value in the market.
yeah, I thought it was a fantastic opportunity to buy a amazing company at a good price. So I took it, and then I got absolutely punched in the face.
So we're gonna take a look at what happened, and it's actually alarming if you consider it's more age group determined. I'll explain what that means. Okay, so Google. This is the Google chart. I'm going to show you the cues on the exact same time frame, so same days. Okay, but you could see we had our big low. That was all of tech. Had the big low early April, and then we're not really recovering a lot. This was a big volume bar. Okay,
Yeah, a
so
lot of
here's our
volume.
cues. We did a video last week on how we're at the 200 moving average. This is a huge, huge moving average. Whatever happens here dictates. We had a dip and we're back there again, literally pressing it. So like everyone's looking at this level, like we're all watching it. Usually the 200 moving average, as I said in the previous video, the most important moving average, everyone's looking at it.
Yeah.
But that's not what this video about. This video is about, is Google screwed? So, okay, this is a Wall Street Journal article. I parsed some of it out because some of it was, I just kind of wordy. But I'm going to read the important stuff here. So, basically, a senior at Apple said
Wow.
that Google searches over the Safari web browser fell over the last 2 months. This has not happened in over 20 years, meaning monumental shift. Okay,
Great.
they said this. They were attributing it to people using Chat GPT and Perplexity. Okay, Google saw its shares tumble more than 7% on Wednesday after the news, costing $250 billion in market cap. Apple's share also dropped 1%. Okay. Now, do you use Chat GPT?
No, not really.
Okay,
I've used it like twice.
it's incredible. I'll be honest with you. I just started using it within the last month. They're not used for the same things, to be clear, but there is a generational thing that's happening here. So the interesting thing is Google also lost two antitrust cases over the last 9 months, and the
Yeah.
argument is that they have a monopoly because 93%, which you'll see, of all searches have been on Google. And as ChatGPT takes over, that case actually kind of falls apart because the percentage is dropping, which is a little bit funny.
Yeah.
So Google powered 89.7% of the world's internet searches the last 2 months. Microsoft was 3.9%. Here's Meta, Google, and the SP 500. So this is the share price as a multiple projected earnings over the last 12 months. So
Yeah.
you can see Google actually dropped below 16,
Yeah.
which, you did a video on the free cash flow aspect. It was at 4%. Now it's even better.
Mhm.
So what does this actually mean? So just in the red boxes here, Google suddenly looks more vulnerable even without the government's intervention. Its near 90% search share is now down from 93% in 2022 when ChatGPT first launched. Google has remained below the 90% mark for most of the last 6 months, which has not been seen in the last 10 years. And about 400 million people were using ChatGPT on a weekly basis. Funny
Wow.
enough, Microsoft also had antitrust issues where they were thinking about breaking it up long time ago, and then they had a lot of business mistakes and it stopped it. This, weirdly enough, could stop Google from being broken up. It's, I don't know if that's good or bad. You're trading one
Yeah.
problem for another problem. Um, But the stock is down now nearly 12% over the last 12 months and fell below the 16 PE for the first time in 12 years. So Google's parent, wait, this makes Google's parent, oh, okay. The only
Yeah.
mega cap tech to be commanding a discount to the SP 500 as a multiple of forward earnings that might be look compelling for a company now generating 75 billion in annual free cash. So they're still making an absolute insane amount of money, right?
Yeah.
75 billion in free cash flow. The issue is there was a couple studies I was looking at where it was like 90% of Gen Z are using Chat GPT and a search engine. And then you have something along the lines of 90% of older individuals only using Google, not using Chat GPT. So as people age out, you're going to have more people funneling towards Chat GPT than Google. I understand that going from 93% to 89%, it's still like, hey, we have 89% market share. That's a shit
Yeah.
ton.
Still insane. Yeah.
It's insane. Absolutely. Intel had that too. Just gonna throw that out there, right? They were a disaster.
I don't know
So
if theirs was that good ever.
there's the CPU market share for Intel for a while was, I don't remember what it was unbelievably high, and that company is a disaster. So
True.
we got to decide, is this a buy more opportunity or is this a paradigm shift? And if you guys haven't used Chat, it's awesome. It's
Yeah.
it's unbelievably effective, in my
Yeah.
opinion.
Well, I've used AI tools for various things, but I don't, as of yet, personally, even come close to kind of replacing my regular searches. That's still
Same.
Google predominant
Yeah,
for me.
and there was another study that it was in here actually. It was looking at how it's not necessarily a trade for trade scenario where you would use ChatGPT over Google because a lot of the ChatGPT prompts were non-commercial use. So it wasn't the same as what you'd be looking for Google that you can use for marketing data. It's
Hmm.
more that as people get comfortable on searching for one way over another, would they stop going to a search engine? Would they rely on ChatGPT to be the search engine in the future? Not right now, but in the
Yeah.
future.
So I personally love periods like this because when you have an absolute like thoroughbred of a company like Google and
Mm-hmm.
Alphabet that is been crushing for a long time, and all of a sudden you get into a very negative news cycle. Well, they have a lot of problems, but the real question to me is will this be meta? In where we're going to look at back at it and go
Yeah.
like, why didn't I buy more in a couple of years? Or will this be eBay where it's like they have a PE of 10 and have had a PE 10 for the last 10 years, and that's what they deserve because they've just turned into like a marketplace and they're not really innovating at all anymore. I personally think Google has more of that, kind of genetics of a Meta than they do of an eBay, but it's hard to know. These are real opportunities, and it's you're doing your best educated guess, I guess, is my point.
Yeah. No one knows the future, right? But this is very reminiscent of when Apple changed the rules that hurt Meta's advertising. What was the details on
Yeah.
that again? Do you remember what it was?
The app tracking transparency, ATT,
There we
they
go.
call that.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was going to be a meta killer and did make a difference. As we saw, Vinny did a video in their earnings, didn't it didn't even phase them at all. Actually, they
Yeah.
actually made more money. So
It took them like a year and a half to navigate through that phase, and
like
while they were
less.
dealing with multiple other things, and then they've gone on to new highs.
Yeah. So let us know what you guys think. I agree with Vinny. I think that buy on negative news. I think no one knows the future. AI's ChatGPT is crazy, but people are forgetting Google also has AI. So there is
Yeah.
ways to combat that. So
And Waymo, yeah. And the real question to me is, will we ever see that absolute meta moment where we saw them selling below $100 a share from 600 highs? What might we get there again with Google, where we start seeing them sell under $80 a share? Say, it's possible. It's possible.
yeah, that'd be awesome. All right. Let us know, guys.
Catch you next one.